Good evening. This is Lantern Glow Stories. Tonight's tale unfolds in a quiet town square where a sound long silenced returns for a single moment, asking to be heard. Settle in and let the lantern glow guide you into the night. In the center of Briarwood stood a small stone chapel, older than most of the homes that surrounded it. Its bell tower rose gently above the square, the iron bell inside resting still for as long as anyone could remember. The bell had last rung many years ago, on a night the town preferred not to speak of. After that, it had been silenced, the rope removed, the tower closed, its voice left to memory. Mrs. Helen Porter lived across the square, her bedroom window facing the chapel doors. She had grown used to the quiet, the hush that settled after evening prayers ended, the soft ticking of her clock marking the hours instead. Helen liked routines. They brought her comfort, a cup of chamomile before bed, a book left open on the nightstand. Lights out by 11, without fail. The bell had never interrupted her sleep, until one night, just after midnight. The sound came suddenly. A single bell rang, low, clear, unmistakable. Helen sat up in bed, her heart beating just a little faster. The sound echoed once through the square, then faded into the still air. She waited, holding her breath. Nothing followed. For a long moment, Helen wondered if she had imagined it. But when she opened her window, she saw lights flickering on in nearby houses. She was not the only one awake. The next morning, the town buzzed with quiet curiosity. People spoke in low voices at the bakery. Neighbors paused longer than usual at the post office. Some blamed the wind. Others suggested old metal shifting in the tower. But Helen knew better. The sound had been too steady, too deliberate. It had rung with purpose. That evening, as dusk settled over the square and the street lamps flickered on, Helen wrapped a shawl around her shoulders and crossed the cobblestones toward the chapel. The air was cool, carrying the scent of damp stone and fallen leaves. When she reached the door, she paused. It was unlocked. That alone felt unusual. Inside, the chapel was still, the silence deeper than she remembered. Moonlight filtered through the stained glass windows, casting pale colors across the floor. Helen stepped carefully, her footsteps echoing softly as she approached the bell tower stairs. The climb was slow, measured. Each step seemed to carry her not just upward, but backward through time. At the top, the bell hung exactly as she remembered, darkened by age, its surface etched with names and dates. Beside it sat a small wooden stool, and resting on the stool was a folded piece of paper. Helen picked it up gently. The handwriting was careful, steady, and familiar. The bell is not meant to ring often, only when someone needs to remember. Thank you for coming. Her breath caught. The writing belonged to her father. Years ago, he had been the chapel's caretaker, the one entrusted with the bell. It was he who had silenced it after a night that changed the town forever. Helen remembered now. The way he had said some sounds were too heavy to carry every day, but too important to lose entirely. She reached out and rested her hand against the bell. It was cool, solid, unmoving. It did not ring again. It had spoken only once, just enough. Helen folded the note carefully and placed it back on the stool. As she descended the stairs, the chapel felt peaceful, complete. That night, Helen slept without waiting for the sound. The bell did not ring again, and she understood why. Some memories were not meant to linger, only to return briefly when the heart was ready. And so tonight's gentle mystery settles softly in the square. A bell, a memory, and a moment that chose its time carefully. Thank you for listening. Until our next story, Beneath the Lantern Light.